What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Blue Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know it ain't working without y'all. So I appreciate each and every one of you guys and ladies being here. Tonight, 9 o'clock Eastern, we're going to be doing part 2, Hot Wing Challenge for charity for Stuart Morrison. Mike said, you know what, I want to do my part to help out Stuart. So he's going to put his intestines on the line, and I might just as well put mine on there too. What the hell? I'll go ahead and do it. I'll do it. I'll do it for you, Stu. Memorial weekend, it's going to be quiet. There's not a whole lot of stuff going on. You know, there's, of course, the talk of JPP's people trying to stir up that the Cowboys are interested in him, but I don't think the Cowboys are actually interested in him at all. You know, it's still the Cowboys have taken so many steps backwards, and they're going to be bad and have no chance at winning the division. You know, all that talk, the usual hate and drama against the Cowboys and stuff. And of course, players being linked to the Cowboys in free agency, and we know Catboys not going to do that. Catboy's not signing nobody. Okay, so we can get that out of our minds. And then there's speculation. Speculation that we all have. And thoughts. One of the big mantras of this offseason is that the Cowboys went backwards because they let go of some players. That's easy to go ahead and make that narrative and say Cowboys got worse because they lost players. But it's funny because I'm still thinking about Davante Adams. Davante Adams leaving Green Bay, if your whole thing is the Cowboys got worse because they lost Lyle Collins, who missed 16 games the year before and 7 games this year, and because they lost Connor Williams, who led the league in penalties, and Amari Cooper, who had 868 yards, then you have to look and say, Green Bay is going to be bad because they lost Davante Adams. The next closest guy is under 600 yards. Now here's my thing. When the Cowboys 2 years ago drafted Ceedee Lamb, did we think that Ceedee Lamb was always going to be the number 2 receiver and that we were forever going to have Amari Cooper? Do you honestly believe that the Cowboys gave up a high number 1 draft pick for Ceedee Lamb to be in the shadows of Amari Cooper? They didn't. You don't have that luxury, especially when you had a defense that had the problems that it did, that you could spend a number 1 draft pick on a guy that you look at is not going to be your number 1 wide receiver. It just wouldn't make any sense. And we've seen CD flourish pretty good as a number 2. Yeah, he's got the drops and stuff, but I'll attribute some of that to still being young. Remember, this is only going into his 3rd year. And with Amari Cooper there, you couldn't get him into the spotlight like you may want him to be. Who's to say Ceedee Lamb doesn't end up becoming like a Davante Adams? Because, see, the thing about wide receivers is, generally speaking, they don't come out the box great. Now, there's a few. Odell Beckham, probably, you can look at his rookie year and say that may have been his best year. But it's few and far between. Generally speaking, great receivers develop later on. And we're getting into the 3rd year of Ceedee Lamb, where Ceedee Lamb now has come out from under the shadows of Amari Cooper, now is next door locker with his quarterback, Dak Prescott, and now has the stage to himself. There's 2 kinds of people in the world. Ones who don't like the spotlight and wilt under pressure. Or 2, those who thrive in the spotlight. Now, the interesting thing here was Ceedee versus Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper was not one of those guys who is the extrovert, the guy who likes that spotlight. Amari Cooper is very good in football, but he tends to shy away from the limelight, the spotlight, and everything else, and the excitability of football. Sometimes you look at Amari Cooper and think he'd rather be anywhere but on the football field. Because, like, check his pulse. Is he still alive? Ceedee, on the other hand, is that guy, I don't want to say showboat, but he is truly an extrovert who likes the attention. I'm happy that he actually put on some more weight because he did look a little bit on the thin side, as long as it didn't slow him down. And I'm hoping that didn't. I'm hoping that he's had the whole off-season now, this year, of actually working with Dak. Because, see, here's the thing that people don't seem to take into account much. He gets drafted by the Cowboys, and we have COVID. We have COVID, no preseason games, and abbreviated training camp. How much time do you think that one-on-one Dak and Ceedee Lamb got to work together? Not really a lot. Not really a lot. So enter the season where Dak plays in 5 games. That's really the time that they had together. Enter last offseason. Last offseason where OTAs, Dak wasn't cleared to work out. Enter training camp and preseason games where Dak had the shoulder issue and stuff and did not practice in training camp. Forgot about that, didn't you? So again, what you have to understand is, now that practice and training camp are so shortened, you don't have that many padded practices anymore. You have 14 in training camp. You have 11 during the season. They're always hungry, aren't they? Look at them. They're up here showboating, okay? Look at them. I need to fill up the food thing for them. So you have 2 off seasons that Ceedee Lamb and Dak don't actually get to work together. This is the first off season that Dak Prescott and Ceedee Lamb really get to work together. And I guarantee you that that's going to pay dividends big time. That relationship now, that camaraderie, that knowing where you're going to be without seeing it, that mental telepathy, is going to start working with Dak and Ceedee Lamb. I'm telling you, that's a difference maker. And so as we all look at Ceedee versus Amari, well, I think Amari pretty much has hit his ceiling. He's not going to do much more than what he did with us. And he has a track record of playing gangbusters and playing really, really good and then tailing off. We've now seen that equation now happen in 2 different spots. Ceedee, on the other hand, you have to look at it and say, that guy who didn't have his quarterback the first year in the training camp, didn't have his quarterback in the off season, and you look at the numbers that he already had, when they really get on the same page and have that it factor between the 2 of them, you're going to see a monster year out of Ceedee Lamb. It wouldn't surprise me if Ceedee Lamb goes over 1,400 yards this year. I'm telling you, he is going to be the guy that Dak Prescott really goes to. And by no other reason, too, because he will be the superstar on the wide receiving corps. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He's going to have a great season. Now, it ends up being that it's not, come back to me. Tell me, you were an idiot. You said Ceedee Lamb's going to have a 1,400-yard season. Well, wouldn't be the first time somebody said I was an idiot. But if I'm right, make sure you come back and say, damn, dog, you called that shit. And this whole thing that the Dallas Cowboys team has taken all these steps backward, I'm not buying it. Just not. But anyway, got some work to do before tonight's show. Got some chicken wings I gotta cook. And I definitely need to get some milk too before that. Whew, that shit is hot. It still always amazes me that the water gets as clear as it does in here. There's no filtration here other than the plants and the movement of the water. And the water gets that clear. And it hasn't really, the bacterium hasn't even really kicked in yet because it hasn't been hot enough on a consistent basis. Once that happens, that water will be crystal clear. You'll be able to count the leaves on the bottom. All right, guys, here you go, a little more. Say goodbye to the crowd. I'm Mark Holmes. Make sure you hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Be part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. You get great scenery. Yeah, great scenery. And God willing, I'll see you later.